One morning, as the sun rose over a quiet suburban neighborhood, I laced up my running shoes and stepped out for what I thought would be a peaceful jog. The streets were calm, birds chirped, and I was just focused on clearing my head. But out of nowhere, the sound of a sharp voice cut through the air. "What are you doing here? You don't belong in this neighborhood." It was a woman, dressed in an expensive suit, glaring at me from her driveway. She didn't ask politely, she accused. I tried to ignore her and keep jogging, but then she pulled out her phone and said the words I'll never forget. "I'm calling the police." Minutes later, a patrol car pulled up beside me. The officers got out, asked me questions, and even made me sit on the curb while they checked things out. People peeked through blinds and came out of their houses, watching as if I was a criminal. My heart pounded, not because I'd done anything wrong, but because I knew how quickly things like this could spiral. I calmly explained I lived just a few blocks away, that jogging was part of my daily routine. Eventually, the officers realized I wasn't breaking any laws, but the humiliation of being treated like a suspect in my own neighborhood cut deep. I could have just tried to move on, but something inside me said, "No, this isn't right." I spoke to a lawyer, who immediately saw the seriousness of what had happened. That phone call wasn't just an inconvenience, it was racial profiling, harassment, and public humiliation. We filed a case, and what started as a small neighborhood incident grew into something much bigger. During the hearings, everything came out. Witnesses testified how I was treated unfairly, and even the police reports showed there had been no reason to stop me. The woman who called, this Karen, tried to defend herself, saying she was just protecting the neighborhood. But it didn't hold up. People saw the truth. She called the cops not because of what I did, but because of who I was. Months later, I stood in court as the judge ruled in my favor. Not only did I win the case, but I was awarded a settlement that made national news. The same neighbors who once watched me get humiliated on the curb now stopped me in the street to shake my hand and say they supported me. And that woman, she didn't just lose money. She lost her image of power. Now, every time I jog through that same neighborhood, I do it with my head held high. What was once a moment of shame has become a symbol of resilience. And the best part, the woman who tried to kick me out of the neighborhood is now the one paying for my victory.